everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Movies on Our Minds. On this show, we get to talk about movies such as action, comedies, thrillers, comic book movies, but specifically the movie that we're all thinking about. And the movie that we're thinking about today is the latest Marvel Cinematic film, Spider-Man: Homecoming. Now, before we begin, I'd like to introduce our guest. We have a newcomer on the show down there. His name is Rabon.
Outstanding. How's everybody doing?
Rabon, are you ready to talk about Spider-Man: Homecoming?
Indeed, I am.
I can't wait. I see you Marvel get up down there.
I got the shirt, the hat, Black Panther chain, but hey,
You even worked on that Black Panther, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Did some stunt background work, Got to do that. And Avengers Infinity War, too, so.
Shucks.
Kind of like it was the same role going into that from Black Panther to the Avengers movie.
Okay. That's what's up. We also got another person coming back, Keenan, another Marvel fan.
I'm here. I've returned after a long wait.
Oh, Keenan, are you ready to talk about this movie?
I suppose I can do that today.
Okay. I'm glad you managed to do this.
It's an anime Saturday, so I guess I can, step out.
We also got our last comer from Baby Driver, Stephon.
How you doing?
As y'all can see, Stephon is still thinking about this film. It's really left the impact on him, which is why I brought him back.
He's got a lot on his mind.
He does.
I can see it.
Well, alright, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this, starting with the cast and characters. Let's go ahead and talk about Tom Holland as Peter Parker, Spider-Man. What did y'all think about him? Do you think he did a good job? I don't want to say compared to these other two Spider-Mans, but you got to think about all three of them sometimes. So, how did y'all feel like he did? Do you think he was cool for this cinematic universe?
I like where you put that. He was definitely cool for this cinematic universe. Like, I feel like he fit very well into the whole MCU. And like when you mentioned, like, compare, if you look over, like, at Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, it's funny that he kind of reminds me, or that whole film kind of reminds me of almost like the Netflix MCU, if you kind of think about it.
Okay,
Yeah.
see that? What about you, Ken?
I think he fit in. He did, as an actor, what he was paid to do, was to play a 14, 15-year-old boy. Just learning his powers and stuff. So, I like Tom as Spider-Man for this.
You like him as Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Stephon.
Yeah, no, I got no issues with his portrayal of the character. None at all. It's a great job. It's a good fit.
Okay. What about Michael Keaton as Vulture, the villain of Spider-Man: Homecoming? How did y'all think he did in this film?
Very well.
Yeah, believable.
Yeah.
Very believable.
Very
Yeah, he
believable.
did outstanding.
Yeah.
It's Michael Keaton.
No, he did great. He was wonderful.
He probably was one of the better parts of the film.
Yes. Yes, he was.
Because he had no.
Yes, he was.
He had no campiness to him. No campiness, no extra jokiness to him.
He was just like that type of character to where it's like he got screwed the first time. He's like, "That's what y'all gonna do to me. This is what I can do." And that's it. I'm not trying to kill y'all. I'm just trying to make my living because y'all screwed me. And bam, here I am.
There it is.
I'm the Vulture.
Yeah, they're pretty much.
And that's where Peter Parker comes in as the 15-year-old. Like, you're doing bad. I just gotta stop you. It's like you're not really old enough to understand him. You just see him doing bad stuff, and that's why you gotta come in. Which is we see it. We understand what they're doing in this, and that's why I thought Michael Keaton did a good job with portraying that. Y'all think so too?
Yeah, definitely.
So. Yeah, I know you can add him on the actor Ross for Marvel and DC actor.
Oh yeah.
So
he's Batman and he's Vulture.
How many?
There's quite a few.
And he's Birdman too.
Oh yeah, you did eat Birdman. That's
Birdman.
Birdman.
One of my favorite ones.
All right, what about Marissa Tomei as Aunt May?
Interesting choice. They went their own way with that, but it works. It works for what they're doing.
Seeing that she's only, 3-4 scenes max?
Yeah, but she definitely had more shine than Civil War. She definitely, out of all these characters, I feel as if definitely had an importance to Peter Parker. Because there's some characters I feel like, you could have cut them out the film and it wouldn't have affected it.
Wouldn't even.
But I feel like she was a necessity to.
Yeah.
She's Aunt May.
She's
the only.
she's Aunt May.
She's the only guardian to Peter.
You can't just have a 15-year-old kid just running around.
Yeah. Well, how did y'all think her portrayal was, especially for her age? This is the youngest. Does that affect the film?
For this, I guess for the way that they're trying to go with Spider-Man going forward, it fit. You know.
I mean, she wasn't some annoying aunt. They
Yeah.
didn't make her young and ditzy or blonde or
Mhm.
anything like that. They didn't go overboard. They made her younger, but that's about it.
Yeah.
They kept her essentially the same.
Mm-hmm.
You think it was kind of funny or cute the way that a lot of people were hitting on her in small ways, even
I mean,
like when
yeah.
they were at the restaurant?
Yeah, even the restaurant.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, when your aunt's bad, I mean, that's what you expect. You
You know,
know.
you got the hot aunt.
Yeah.
Hot.
That's essentially what it was.
Okay. What about Zendaya as Michelle Jones, aka not MJ?
Not in
Nah,
She's not MJ.
It's like I like Zendaya. I like her character, but it's like I don't. What was the use of her? I mean, she was cool.
Yeah,
She was cool, but it's like, what was the use of the character? I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's something.
did it feel like she was just thrown in there
Yeah.
for like scenes to where he's at high school? There's just that one awkward kid that passes by. I don't want to say like the emo person, but just like,
The rebellious
hey,
team.
what's up? You know,
Yeah,
the
but
answer
then-
is 0.
But then she does have a crush on him too.
Yeah, you catch that.
You see,
I did not catch any
you-
romantic interest
you
between
didn't
them.
catch
at the end.
Yeah,
At the end,
Nah,
the whole little eyes.
Even at the end,
no,
it's
yeah, no.
like.
She
it's there.
She has an obvious crush.
Did
on
you
her.
see it, Stephon?
Yeah.
Really?
Like it's like you can't miss that.
No,
it was
First,
it was
I
put-
thought she was just there as a plot element, perhaps.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
if there is a plot element, she does like the guy.
She's a potential.
I
love
forgot at
interest.
what point, but it was after somebody said something, or it was mentioned that she was there. Maybe his friend said something, but I think maybe at detention
Yeah, because
at that point or earlier.
I was even wondering like, why is she in detention? And it's so funny when he brings up like, why are
Yeah, I
you even
think it
here?
was that
Like
scene.
you don't have detention.
Right. So I was like, either she's spying on him and she's like the vulture's her dad, or
I mean, it kind of fit. I think that she was like the stalking crush in a sense. Like I started to get that vibe later on, anyways, because wherever he was, she was
Mhm.
like for no apparent reason.
She's
So,
a potential love interest down the road.
And like you catch that at the end of the movie when
Yeah.
he walks off and then she's like googly eyed for
Yeah.
a second.
Like if you didn't catch it throughout the movie, they
Right.
just threw it in real
Yeah.
gratuitous at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. What about Jacob Batalon as Ned, his best friend, who's not Harry Osborne?
I think, and I got a theory about that too. But
Mm.
I mean, Ned was. I guess he was supposed to be the comic relief,
yeah, they should have
the
stuck with
fat
MJ.
funny friend. That's
They
what
should
it
have
was.
stuck with MJ.
He was basically the character that Miles Morales. He was basically Miles Morales' best friend from
Yeah.
the comic. I think his name is Gawker. Maybe it is Ned in the comic, but that's that character from Miles Morales. That's like that character.
Yeah, I don't know. It was like some Kim Possible shit. That's what it was like.
That's possible.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
It is Disney.
Yeah. So
Call me.
I have nothing to speak on about Ned because I don't like. I just got the scoop right there.
I mean, did you like the way that he portrayed him?
Yeah,
Was he
cool.
funny
Yeah.
or
No,
was it?
no.
Oh, Stephon, please
Yeah.
tell us why.
While he sips his Capri Sun.
No, that was the start of the stupidity. That was the
The start. Oh, there's
that was
more.
the start.
There's more.
But for example, let's go back to Aunt May. How they made her younger but didn't give her ridiculous younger characteristics. They changed out the best friend and now they gave him ridiculous characteristics. But if you wanted to be a idiotic, there's an excitement, and I understand in the real world, your friends probably want to tell your secret.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a certain responsibility it's how I expressed my complaint about Baby Driver, that it was one of the best movies I've ever seen, and because it was so good, you don't get to skip out on an ending. People notice. Marvel has set a standard with their characters. Marvel has set a standard with their movies. One of the biggest praises to Marvel is all the great casting they do. And great casting goes along with a great script for your characters. This didn't have all of that packaged in one. Like that character was annoying to watch.
Oh, here's the thing about that too.
They don't
because-
use that element.
Well, the thing is with this one was that they were kids. They were 15 years old. So that's why when you look at it.
Sure. And I told my buddy they make another one like that where everybody's an idiotic teen. I'm not even watching the next one in theaters.
What? Ooh.
I'm waiting DVD.
Okay.
I'm not
Sound
even
effect.
gonna-
Dun, dun, dun.
And if the second one's good, then I'll watch the third one.
Okay.
But if that's the recipe they're using for their success, no part of it.
Speaking of castings, what about Tony Revolori? Is it Rebel?
Flag.
ravioli.
Yeah, just do Flash.
Revelori?
I call him ravioli.
My man just clearly has bad taste.
I mean, like, I even wrote down, I'm just like, I still good. But yeah, the dude that's Flash Thompson. A lot of controversy went into that casting. What did y'all think about that?
Wrong.
That was wrong, Rabon?
Wrong, and it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing. He could have been any race. He could have been any race.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole depiction of Flash as a decathlete, he was just
Decathlon,
the academic decathlon. He was just another nerd like Peter. I mean, if Flash is supposed to be the jock, he should be on the basketball team, the football team, the lacrosse team, whatever. And then when I look at Flash Thompson, you know, I'm very aware of the comics, and I know where Flash goes down the line, Agent Venom, and everything. And could you picture Mr. Ravioli as Agent Venom?
That was so.
I mean, no, he could not. But you could picture.
I mean, if he goes through that Captain America transformation, he could do it.
Yeah.
See, that was the thing. I thought to myself,
That's
like,
about it.
this is 15 years old, so maybe in the sequels in junior senior year, if he can just bulk up and get more into the character, like, this is a
Well, that's what I
15
was-
years
I was
old. Maybe
thinking.
he's just
he
picking
still,
on him.
I mean, he still should have been like on
the
JV
way,
team.
on the he
On
should
the
have been on the
JV
way.
team. He shouldn't
And
be
you
able to-
see that what you're talking about right there. You see that element that you put in there to lead us along with the characters. They dropped the ball. It's all over the place.
My thing was I'm trying to hold.
Where
the
we
ball
see
in
the you are. I dropped it. It's slippery.
I'm trying to catch it.
It's heavy and it's
What I'm
wet.
thinking is they're trying
It's
to
smooth,
modernize
too.
it to where it's not how it was like when we were growing up, where the jock was the bully. Now it is the
Another
nerds
nerd is
are
a bully?
becoming.
It's like, man, get out.
I think that's what they're trying. I think that's what they're trying to go with it, because at the same time, if they're at a science technology school, where are the jocks in this school anyway?
I guess the nerds are the new bullies, but you know, his school was mid tech high for technology or something like that. It's like a technical school.
Yeah.
I went to like engineering school, and I was in the robotics club and things like that, and there was never any robotics bullies, or if they ever tried to be one, I would just kind of be like, really, get out of here. Like, 'cause I was a jock too at the same time. It's like I played football, but at the same time I was on the robotics.
So there was nothing about this.
I'm trying to say
this character that was bully material.
No, he was just like this. He was just another nerd that think that you're a rich nerd. Yeah, because
there you go.
Money. He has a little money.
He has money.
That's the only thing that made him.
Who's to say Flash didn't have money? The muscular Flash.
Did he have money? Did he have money?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not speaking
Did
on
he have
it.
some money?
I think usually those flashes like in here.
They're all right. They're taken care of.
Yeah.
They don't have much concerns.
I tried to save you, Tony. Is it Tony?
Mr.
Yeah,
Ravioli.
man.
Mr. Tony Ravioli.
Chef Boyardee.
All right, what about Donald Glover as Aaron Davis, or from what we believe is the Prowler?
I like Donald Glover, but he doesn't strike me as the Prowler.
I just thought my man was just a stoner, just walking around trying to get guns.
It was very interesting too, because what happened with that was John Watts was the director. He said that he understood the campaign for everybody wanting Donald Glover and Spider-Man, and he just heard it. He's like, all right, so we got to put him in there somewhere. And a lot of people thought he was going to be Miles Morales and just make him look young,
Morales, man.
like Andrew Garfield for Spider-Man, because he's in his 30s but still played Peter Parker. But they went a different route and put him as the Prowler, but still related to Miles Morales.
See, he originally wanted to beat Spider-Man
Right.
and everything like
Now,
that.
I got all that. But still,
But he didn't really do anything to you in the film. He was just there as Donald Glover and kept on rolling.
I just thought my man just walked off the set of ATL and was like, "Hey, I'm here."
Straight up.
my man looked like
Straight up.
like he just walked off the set of ATL.
Straight
Like,
Well, he was filmed in Atlanta, so
Right,
like,
yeah.
it would
Like-
make sense.
like-
Straight up. Now they was like, yo, can you come in today?
yeah, that's what it looked like he was doing.
I'm still in costume though.
Yeah,
Alright, just come in.
I was like, that's what
Just
it
come
was.
in.
Like, I mean, I'm glad I saw him in there.
Mhm.
You know.
I mean, it didn't take away from it. If they planted him there to let the people that know what's what in on the situation, cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and if he'll be continued to be used in the second and third or whatever, then it wasn't a waste. But if it's just another superstar getting a spot, then that was a complete waste.
Yeah.
That could have been any street
Yeah.
though.
I was like,
But,
hey, Donald, yeah.
I'm not disappointed until I see how they use him. It's just he didn't do anything.
If he really is the Prowler, then that'd be sweet.
Yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah. I mean, but like they were saying, my man's busy. My man like 4 movies.
Yeah, he is.
So
Yeah.
I mean, we'll see what happens in the sequels.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys, let's jump into the plot, structure, and story with Spider-Man: Homecoming. We can start off by talking about the fact that this was a teenager film first and foremost, then a superhero film. Did you feel like the execution was done well for that? Like, was it an entertaining teenage film?
It was definitely a teenager film. It was clearly Disney, but I mean, and it fit into the MCU.
Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, it's like annoying end of Disney.
It
It was the annoying end of Disney.
Annoying.
But if it's a kids film, then I see what they were doing.
Yeah, and it worked, right?
Yeah.
You know, compared to the darker Spider-Man films, like this was
Right.
supposed to be
Yeah.
a lighter
Lighthearted
version.
and all
You
that.
know,
Yeah.
it's just Peter Parker learning how to be a high schooler and a superhero, quote unquote. So, okay.
His desperate need to be an Avenger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was cool. Spider-Man being
Yeah.
desperate to join the team, but he's Spider-Man, the third most iconic superhero in the whole world.
Yep.
So I thought that was kind of cool. What about the tie-ins at the very beginning? How it was a post-Avengers when they destroyed New York. Mike Keaton was there the whole time, and then after that they showed how Peter Parker was going from New York to Germany during Civil War. How excited he was. I thought that was kind of cool, right?
Yeah, it was cool. It just picked right back up, and you just kind of, it was very, very connected. I mean, you saw what happened after the whole, what do they call the event? The attack?
Sokovia?
No, the
Oh, the Chitauri attack.
yeah, what do they call that event in the MCU? Well, I'll just call it the New York War. But in all these films, like, you know, when they have all this destruction, I'm always like, oh my God, who's gonna pay for all this stuff? I always think about that stuff, like when buildings are crashing and all this stuff. I'm like, insurance, who's paying? Who's cleaning this stuff up? Like, you know. And I like the way it just took right after that. Like, okay, well, here's who's cleaning it up. Here's who's picking up all this stuff. And then with seeing the whole other side of the whole Civil War battle, you know, entering, you know, shout out to Black Panther when he didn't even recognize. He was like, there's Cap, there's, you know, Iron Man. I don't know who the other guy is. He was talking about Black Panther and everything.
So yeah, I thought it was kind of cool. Even the fact in when they were in history class, they were talking about Sokovia Accords. That's part of history now. So so it was simple things like that that helped move the Marvel Cinematic Universe story along.
And I think that's what people really like this story, and I think that's what people will really say, well, this is the best one, just because how it just fits into the MCU. Not necessarily because the story was so much better, because it wasn't, but just because, you know, you got all these references in there, Iron Man, Captain America, and so forth.
Oh, that post-credit scene.
Okay. Now, here's the thing, too. Director John Watts also came out and said that there is no Spidey sense in this cinematic universe.
He said that?
He really said that, yeah. There's news about that, and I just
That
don't
might change.
I don't understand that because
he said that?
He really did say that there's no Spidey sense anywhere near this. I believe he said the universe, not just the film.
I think it's going to be the first one.
So I don't know. He said that, so.
if you scream loud enough, they'll listen.
I mean, they listened in Amazing Spider-Man 2 when they changed his costume.
I mean, I thought that was going to happen.
Sony will do anything to sell tickets.
But the thing about that, though, is that he had the Spidey sense in Civil War, right? So
I mean, it wasn't that great, but he had it. I mean,
exactly. It was there.
It sparked at certain points, and then certain points is like, you know.
I think the further he goes along in using his power, the more that it'll become more prominent. I don't think they're finna just do away with something. That's what everybody knows mostly would connect with Spider-Man anyway. The Spidey sense.
I mean,
go ahead.
If it's gone, then it's gone. But they always have a way of bringing it back, because like you just said, it can always develop over time and get stronger. There's no timeline for
I think if you get a 15-year-old boy power 6 months in, you know,
so
it'll become overwhelming.
So even if he officially said it's not in this universe, like you said, if enough people yell, it could magically reappear. But it's not. If it's not there, then that's unfortunate. But if it comes back, then.
But it's funny because it is there.
It is there, but it's not.
Yeah, I mean, they could just not make it an element. Once again, it's a thematic element. You don't have to constantly remind the audience that he has.
It could be something as subtle as like when Iron Man when Tony threw the canister, he just caught it real quick because that was the Spidey sense then. Mm-hmm. You know, it can be subtle things. It doesn't have to be my Spidey senses tingling.
Yeah, he doesn't need to say that, but
say it.
I mean, I like
to show it.
Yeah. I like the effect of it. Of like it's a noise. Something goes
it's
off
added.
that you know
it's almost as crucial as Wolverine's healing factor.
And that's exactly
Because Spider-Man can put himself in a dangerous situation with that to rely on, just as Wolverine can rush headfirst into something because he has his healing factor to rely on.
That's exactly what I wanted to get to next with. That's one of his iconic powers. Like, you know, when you look at superheroes, okay, you look at Spider-Man's powers, okay, strength, so many people have strength. Agility and reflexes, so many people have agility and reflexes. But some of the things that really stick out about Spider-Man are, you know, his ability to cling the walls. That's like a lot of superheroes can't do that. And then his spider sense, like this is a trademark. It's like Wolverine's healing factor. What is Wolverine without his healing factor? Like you said,
absolutely.
His whole fighting style is based off of his healing factor
because he knows he has that.
He doesn't fight very protect. He's not a defensive fighter. He's a very
reckless,
reckless and offensive fighter. And I think shout out against Black Panther. He once said it in the comics, like, you know, your whole style of fighting is based off your ability to take injury. If you didn't take that, you fight more defensive, like a Batman, like a Panther, who, you know, you can't
afford it.
You can't stab me through my chest. I'm just gonna keep on fighting. I have to block and weave. And so when you take that away from him, it's like Superman's heat vision. You know, Wolverine's healing factor. These are Wonder Woman's lasso.
So do you think that they are going to bring this Spidey sense back?
Yeah, I think it's going to develop
because it's who Spider-Man is.
It's a trademark power. You know, everybody has strength. Everybody has agility. How many heroes, you know, clean the walls and have a danger sense? I mean, there are some, but before, people weren't cleaning the walls and having a sense of danger, you know.
Yeah. As y'all know, there are so many Easter eggs in this film, like tons thrown all around. So I wanted to ask y'all, what were y'all favorite Easter eggs in this film? Stephon, we'll start with you.
I guess I can go with the Ferris Bueller.
The Ferris Bueller Easter egg?
No, that wasn't bad. I enjoyed it, actually. It was because it was in the midst of him doing all that property damage without a care, and it was a little bit of a comic relief when that happened.
Plus, it goes back to high school film referencing.
I do wonder, because now that you say that, I looked at it as them placing it in a, not to say randomly, but to kind of suit that. But yeah, it could be a little bit of a drawback in a sense. No, I didn't really go that far.
What about you, Keenan?
The Iron Spider suit.
The Iron Spider suit.
Which, if they would do Civil War right. Don't do it?
I'm not going to go ahead. Go ahead.
Speak
your mind.
What's a Iron Spider, then Civil War? What?
Well, I mean, it's licensing, so they would have never done it right in the first place, but they could have had the Iron Spider suit.
Well, did you like the Iron Spider in this?
Yes! It's so much. I just like to see it, you know. It could have, you know.
To piggyback on yours, I would have liked to see the whole red and gold. It was like a exaggerated version of the classic, you know, red and blue. It had little accents of gold, because, like we mentioned earlier, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this is just a new, cooler Spider-Man costume. But then for the quick second after, I thought, oh, that's the Iron Spider. But then I thought, like, why don't you just do the Iron Spider? Like, just do the maroon with the big gold eyes with the big gold spider limb. Like,
have you seen the Iron Spider suit?
Yeah, I saw it in the cartoons.
Like, yeah, it would have looked so. It would have looked so. If you would just do it. Just don't have to do it. Just do it.
We might get it. I mean, it's there. Marvel never does anything just to show you something.
Yeah,
right.
It'll be in a movie somewhere soon.
Okay.
Oh, but as far as my favorite Easter egg, though. My favorite Easter egg...
Just gonna leave Rabon out?
No, Rabon, what's up with you? I was about to say.
My favorite Easter egg was the homage to Amazing Spider-Man number 33, where he's, you know, the building collapsed on him, and he's, like, lifting the wreckage off. That was, like, just a straight, you know, shout out to that comic, you know. Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 33, what was it? The final chapter, that cover on there. It's just straight up from that.
Now, that's some real comic book, knowing the knowledge.
Yeah, I had to make a note of that one, but I knew exactly where it came from. Right when I saw it, I was like,
okay.
Yeah.
And that part of the movie actually was pretty cool, because it was showing that, all right, now you know that you're not invincible now. You know, it was showing him being a kid.
And the real
showing
strength
him
of
being
that
an
kid.
adult.
And showing him trying to, like, dig deep.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
It was showing him being an adult for the first damn time in the whole movie. It took a ton of bricks to fall on his head from the
a ton of bricks.
literal ton of bricks.
That
To,
was
like,
pretty
wake
cool.
up.
All right, cool.
It's like a Lion King moment for me.
Alright, guys, what about the plot twist with Vulture? And when I say that, I mean the scene to where Peter Parker came to take Liz out to Homecoming, and then open up is Batman. He's like, oh,
it's Batman.
But at first I thought that was like, oh my god, did he kidnap the family? And, it just Peter Parker threw it off. But no, it just turned out to be the father, which still is a plot twist in itself. That was kind of cool. But I was thinking, what did y'all think about that?
I thought it was a good twist. It was shocking. It kind of made sense. Like when I think back to the scene where Vulture's looking at the news footage of the attack on the monument and how Spider-Man saved somebody or some people, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he looked real vested into that scene or whatever. Right. the newscast. And so it made sense. Like, oh wow, because it was his daughter and everything. But it was a good surprise. Yeah, it was a good surprise.
It was a really good surprise.
You liked it, Keenan?
Yeah, it was. I mean, you didn't expect that, Naka.
No, you didn't.
Gonna kill the whole family now just to get to you, bro. Like how that's working. It's like, you kind of figured out kind of a little bit once you walked in the door and you saw Ma Dukes there though. Because if you remember after the whole attack on the monument came and he hugged the mom, I was like, oh, okay, cool. So that's how they're gonna do things.
Oh, they had the mom showed up?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
I missed that.
After,
Fancy?
Yeah, Fancy. I was that Charlotte? Fancy, baby. What you doing here, baby?
With Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I was like, oh, y'all slick.
What about you, Stephon? Did you like the switch?
I missed the mom, and I put a different importance on the news report. I thought it was just he recognized that Spider-Man was with that school trip and then in Washington, D.C., where that's not his home state, but that's what I took from it. But I do see your point there. Why I liked it, one, it was a great plot twist. Mm-hmm. Didn't see it coming at all, but it introduced a classic Spider-Man element, which is the inclusion of family in the drama.
Yeah.
There's always a struggle with Spider-Man and somebody's family. Somebody else's, like with the Gwen Stacy issue, or even with his own uncle. There's
Goblin,
always
the biggest Harry Osborne, his
Green
father.
Goblin, his buddy. I mean,
Doc Ock, how that's his mentor in Spider-Man 2. Like he's connected. Right. Peter Parker's connected to
each person somehow.
Aunt May dates him, like in the comic.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then even when you look at the Amazing Spider-Man, the professor that changes himself. Lizard. Yeah, like there's a drama there's a personal drama between Spider-Man and his villains. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even Electro, like, it wasn't that personal, but that character felt a connection to Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Venom, there's a connection to Spider-Man. You know, the symbiote, it being its little thing, it would have taken anybody.
So you just like the fact that they got
they finally included that. The rest of it was like the Peter Parker variety show.
Because it's like you said, it's that connection with Parker and Spider-Man. It's not like Vulture just deals with Spider-Man and then that's it. But then no, Parker also deals
Peter
with
Parker's in
Lizard. What was it?
Liz.
No, the daughter.
The daughter. Liz or Liv?
Liz.
It's like Parker still deals with Liv's father. Parker still deals with his mentor, Doc Ock. Parker still deals with Doc Connors. Parker, and then Spider-Man deals with the lizards.
Exactly. That play right there, that double, that duality is there all the time. There's Brock and then there's the Venom. It's always there. Yeah. Spider-Man's story always sets up. It always sets up the person and then the villain. Mm-hmm. They give you a reason, no matter how ridiculous or how in depth. Yeah. That's always there, and that was completely missing from this movie until the final battle. They had it. They teased you with it at the beginning to show we understand the Vulture more than we understand Spider-Man.
Well, that's good because that's not many Marvel films to where we focus more on the villain.
Absolutely not. And he was one of the most common sense villains there were out there. He operated like a professional. You know what I'm saying? They added dialogue to show that he was conscious, like, yo, we've been doing this low-key for years. You know what I'm saying? Why are you out here shooting things off out in the distance?
Right. Well, speaking of dialogue, what did y'all think about the scenes that followed that? The one to where he was driving them to Homecoming, and of course Liz was basically telling him, but you're Spider-Man, you weren't there, but you were there. And, the cinematography, that was cool because Mark Keenan, when they stopped at the red light, it was red on his face. Yeah. But then when he came to the conclusion that Spider-Man, it turned green. I guess green for Vulture or whatever, or green light. Like, oh, is that so? And then they got to Homecoming, and then he had the conversation. Did y'all enjoy the conversation?
I
Just for his
loved it.
first words to be like, does she know?
I
Yeah.
love
I did. That
That was
was
some straight
Bro,
gangster
that was
to me.
that was that level of confidence and the villain being in his element and about his business.
exactly.
A smart,
He's
intelligent
like,
villain.
I will kill you.
Bro, I mean, pulled out the gun and everything. On the
Yeah.
Like, yo, it's this is how it's gonna go. And then the human aspect of even mentioning that he saved his daughter and giving him another shot. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, bad guys don't hand out. You know, the terrorists don't get to lay the groundwork, but he did. But at the same time, he still had your boy with the shocker.
Yeah,
Still waiting just in case, because he's
Just
not
in
an
case.
idiot.
exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I loved him as a villain.
Yeah.
Absolutely loved him. Put a lot of respect on the Vulture.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Keaton really was like one of the best parts of the film, and I like the way you said that part with oh shit, I was like I lost it for a second. They're having a conversation in the car and everything like that about his business and everything. Damn.
You had the
like,
shocker waiting, or
Oh yeah, had the shocker waiting, but like, I just saved your daughter. You gonna give me some type of leniency? But he mentions that, like,
Yeah,
you know, like,
yeah.
look, you know, you saved my daughter, so I'm gonna let you know this now.
right,
like,
like the villain doing the
like-
deal making.
Like, look,
Well, did y'all also like the scene to where after that Spider-Man still came? He's like, I knew you were still
Yeah,
gonna come,
right.
but he was like, I'm not trying to kill you, but I want you to understand the situation at hand, because you're a kid, and I know
Right.
why you don't
Yeah.
understand
Yeah.
it. You just see me as the bad guy, and you want to come
you
for
haven't
me.
experienced enough
But-
life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So I was like, that even adds more to the
He said that
Vulture.
twice.
Like, he knew he was still gonna come, but he knew why, because it's the kid trying to be the hero.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, you're not in my shoes, so you don't get it.
Right.
And that's why I'm not trying to kill you, but I want you to understand where I'm
I still
coming
gotta
from.
do
That's
what I gotta
I,
do.
I like the point he brought up, like, you know, you're selling weapons to bad guys. When, you know, when Parker like says something like that, like, how do you think Stark got his money?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
how do you think Stark got, like,
Yeah,
he's
your
you're a
guy,
weapon
your
mafia.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your boy, he sold weapons. like,
Yeah.
like, you know,
absolutely.
so, because he does it on, like, a larger, rich guy scale.
On a larger scale, yeah.
Yeah.
With more, you know, flashing lights around it,
And-
more innocence.
And, you know, political papers with it.
Right.
Absolutely.
It's legal, but because I do it now, more of a low key.
And they want to squash me.
Yeah.
Right. No, I totally agree with it.
So that's why we all like the Vulture.
The Vulture is
we
one
like
of
the
my favorite.
villain.
Michael
I
Keaton.
like, yeah, and
Michael Keaton, you killed it in this.
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. That's the kind of casting and writing that, you know, I'm used to with Marvel.
Right.
You know.
Now, another thing though is that just like with all Marvel films, we also gotta address the hijinks in this film, because with it being a kids film, there were some hijinks to where it's like, that's a little too far. Like, it doesn't really make sense, or it's not really going anywhere.
It wasn't needed.
Yeah,
It
like
wasn't needed to move the story along.
It gets too campy.
too campy, exactly. So like even the shocker that died before he got killed, he was like, I know all this. I'm about to go out and tell the world.
Yeah.
Like, what did you?
Who says that?
Like, what do you expect me? Now I'm gonna kill you.
You just gave me no choice. Because
But
what
I-
am I do? Just let you back in because you
Yeah.
threatened me? Like, as your boss, the bad guy, you can't threaten me and let me let that
I don't
stand.
trust you now.
And
I love Michael Keaton's reaction. How like that was the vaporizing gun, or like,
Yeah.
Right.
like, I thought that was just a gravity gun.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
And I thought
Shows that he's not a killer.
exactly, but I thought like,
Right.
okay, so you thought it was a gravity gun.
So
What
he
was
was
that
still
supposed
going to
to do?
threaten him. He was
So-
still just going to threaten him.
So he would have just floated up and hit the
Probably,
ceiling.
yeah. He
Yeah.
would have hurt it, but he wouldn't have killed
He
it.
wouldn't have
Just
killed
like,
it.
Yeah.
Try me again, you
Yeah.
know. Another hijink was when they went to Washington. It was two things that got me. One, to where I've seen this in other films, so it was like, But the specific one was when Karen was talking to Peter Parker as he's holding the elevator. This is your chance.
That's
Tell
AI.
Liz.
Yeah.
Yeah, the AI, the artificial intelligence,
Yes.
told Peter Parker, this is it. Tell Liz that you love her and kiss her while you at her. You didn't say all that, but it's just like,
She
really?
did say kiss
Now?
him. She did
Yeah.
say kiss
Oh,
him.
she did say kiss?
Yeah.
Oh, I just,
So yeah, now's your
Is it-
chance. Kiss her. Yeah.
It's like
I'm like, what?
that's when like you're supposed to be AI. Okay, I get you cracking a few
A
sarc, but it's
joke
like
here or there.
that's
Yeah.
you now. No.
I don't think it
I couldn't picture
does not
Jarvis.
compute. Does not compute.
I couldn't
Compute.
picture Jarvis. saying
I don't
something
think
like that.
even like across the 8 movies Iron Man has been in, I don't think Jarvis ever got that ridiculous.
Got
Jarvis
that.
has-
That's
it's-
probably
I
why.
mean,
That's probably why they
and
made
Jarvis
it that
has a
way,
sense of
because
humor.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
knew, like, when
Jarvis
it's
had
serious.
enough intelligence to become Vision.
Yep. I don't see
I
Karen.
mean, I don't see Karen becoming Vision,
No.
Karen,
but it was it's her first movie.
Yeah.
But
it's her first movie.
it's her first movie. But yeah, that That's I let it go, but it's something to point out. It's something else to pile on top of the pile.
And let's not forget, as the elevator is coming down, carrying Spider-Man down with it, here comes Flash Thompson. Hey, by the way, do you know who Peter Parker is? Yeah, that's the best time to ask for him.
Yeah,
right?
like, are you friends with Peter Parker?
Yeah,
I let that
He's
go.
definitely
too.
gonna ask. But yeah, so you see that you let that go because that's corny to where you see that and other stuff.
I think
but the artificial
his character
intelligence
is that
part,
corny.
That's Disney.
that was a little
That's
like
Disney.
yeah. And then the fact when at the school everybody was fans of Spider-Man after the Washington monument, and then here comes Ned. Oh my gosh, can I tell everybody that you're finally Spider-Man? Like, no, that is not no. And he even asked more than once. That was like the crazy thing. Like, did you not hear me the first time?
Right, like no, it's not cool.
Yeah, so
people cannot know my identity.
So it was just simple hijinks like that I saw all throughout the film. But again, I wouldn't say it compromised the film, right? It still didn't bring it down to a complete negative. It was just like, yeah, we've seen this before, and we wish it would stayed out.
That and the cell phone going off when he's flying on the bad guys. That element, I don't understand why they added that to it.
Oh, why not?
I guess just so his inexperience.
Yeah. I suppose, but he was gonna come down from there anyway. He could have still did something stupid. For example, what I thought was ideal, what I would have been happy if they did this throughout the film, and I would have put up with it and just been happy that he's a kid. His interaction with, I want to call him Danny Glover. It's not Danny Glover. What's the guy?
Donald Glover.
Donald Glover. There you go.
The Prowler.
Yes, his interaction with him at the trunk in the parking deck. That's the lowest level of experience I want my superhero to have in a movie. And that's completely fine. He is a kid. That is literally his first time interrogating somebody, doing something even close to Batman or whatever. And I get that. And that,
I love the voice they tried to do.
That was funny.
Like,
that was genuinely funny. But you know what I'm saying? He still carried himself with some eagerness. But yeah, so I mean, but that piece with Donald Glover was, to me, that was ideal for a lacking experience, but still being counted with enthusiasm. You know what I'm saying? It was full of funny throughout. You know what I'm saying? From start to finish. The voiceover, the stupid voice, realizing in that moment, all right, this voice is stupid. I should come off from it. The bad guy in the situation being understanding that it's like, yeah, I'm a bad guy, but there's elements of my neighborhood I don't want. But then at the same time, I need to cooperate with Spider-Man. I don't have a choice. He still kick my ass. You know what I'm saying? So that back and forth, that exchange, that same thing, that community with Spider-Man and his community, again, was added as an element. You know what I'm saying? So that if that was how it was, I'd have taken it. But the cell phone going off and the complete lack of care for any piece of that neighborhood as he was trashing through it, that was an irritation to me.
So I can see that. And
no referencing to, like, not if they'd even said maybe, you know, ooh, somebody's gonna have to pay for that, or I'm sorry, it's all in the name of justice.
I was just thinking like, ooh, I hope there wasn't a kid in that treehouse.
In the treehouse, bro. That's negligent as hell, dog.
Like, a kid could have been in there.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point. Like, no other superhero is that negligent.
Right.
They made a whole Batman, his whole Batman versus Superman was because Superman was so negligent. It's just not something that happens so loosely, and if it does, the film normally mentions it. You know what I'm saying? But it is. That's what irritated me. It wasn't the Spider-Man I like to see, and I understand it's a younger Spider-Man, but they showed elements of his little bits of maturity that were allowable, and I feel
tolerable.
Huh?
Or tolerable.
Tolerable, absolutely tolerable. But when you can create a good villain, you should be able to do your superhero justice. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I said it before, but that whole scene where he was stuck in a maximum security place, I went on a rant with a friend about that.
On the vault, yeah.
Yeah, like all of a sudden he's mature enough. Right when he's like, oh, I didn't know my web could do all this. Like, y'all realize he ran 200 plus tests from a TI like 80 something calculator?
Mm-hmm.
Do y'all realize that?
Yeah.
He had enough intelligence to crack that vault, get it open. You know, no security breach or nothing like that. Let's forget about that element of film they just left out. But so right then he can go into superhero mode. But at the same time, the directors or the writers, whoever wanted to add in, once he's running and they're like, oh, this thing is gonna blow up in my friend's backpack. hey, what are you doing? Hey, Peter, where are you? Oh, the decathlon, da-da-da-da-da. I was like, well, like, tell him what you have to say. No, listen, I got something to tell you. It's really important, but I can't seem to tell you to shut up so I can just say it.
Yeah.
And then the phone gets snatched. Oh, no, put him back on the phone so I can tell him this really important thing. And, like, he could have easily said, it'll blow up. They could have said the connection was bad. It's in an elevator in the Washington Monument. They could have used any other element to prevent that communication from going through.
Yeah.
But they choose that one?
Yeah.
Running like kids with diarrhea mouth?
Yeah. Like, okay, look, shut up. I need to tell you.
Shut up! I need to tell you something.
Yeah.
Like that's what I'm saying. That's the hijinks I keep talking about. That's the stuff that just irritated me. And somebody, when you guys said Disney, that it felt like a Disney Spider-Man movie.
I mean, it did. It felt like this was Disney XD.
It felt like Disney XD, and I was like, that's not. You like I keep telling people maybe my hopes are just too high because of the Iron Mans, but you know what I'm saying. That was perfect from his first movie on. It was just he started conflicted, and within that he saw the damage he was doing, and he changed. He came out a better person. It took Spider-Man a much longer time and a much more tripping up. Even when he landed in the warehouse to confront Vulture again, and he starts yelling at the back of the warehouse. I'm like, damn, bro, you can wait till you got a little bit closer.
Yeah.
But, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, it felt like Disney XD.
Okay.
And if that's how they want to do it, fine. But if that's not the type of superhero I like.
Because some of the Disney XD shows are tight. You know, like the Avengers and the Disney XD
Yeah.
Avengers. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good. But you know it's Disney.
I'm not the audience for that type of movie.
Okay. Alright, guys. What would y'all give your ratings out of 10 for this movie? Rabon, we will start with you. Out of 10?
I say 6, 7-ish.
6, 7-ish. Okay. So 6.5, really?
I feel bad.
7. 7, I guess.
Okay, 7. Why 7? Like,
I mean, because I like the movie. You know, I felt it fit in well with the MCU. But honestly, I'm not gonna be one of those people who's like, oh, this was better than Sam Raimi's. This was better than Andrew Garfield's. Because honestly, to me,
That's bandwagon stuff.
it wasn't. Like
It
it was almost on par-ish.
Yeah.
But honestly, I like Amazing Spider-Man better. The first one, not Electro, but the first one. Better.
okay, cool. What about you, Keenan? Out of 10, what would you give it?
I feel bad because I'm be the only one who give it a nice story. I'll give it 8.5.
Okay.
Because if I'm not comparing to any of, like, say these two movies didn't even exist, I'll give it 8.5.
Well, yeah, if those didn't exist, then it probably would be a high.
It might be a 9.
Yeah, because I don't have anything to go on.
Yeah, so it's just because I enjoyed it, and it was what it was. It was a teen learning to become a superhero, and I kind of liked it. So
Okay.
8.5.
Stephon, what about you? What would you get out of 10?
At first it was a 6. And then at first it was a 7. But I settled happily on 7.5.
Okay.
7.5. But I realized I bumped it up from a 6 to a 7.5 because I realized it's not that I dislike the movie. I dislike the type of movie.
Okay.
If they continue on the path, like the Disney XD thing is the best I've heard as to compare it to, and that's fine because if that's how you want to make your movies, make your movies. But when you have that Marvel tag on it, there's a certain level of expectation, and certain elements can be comedy and certain elements can be serious drama. But how the Marvel universe likes to move their stories along, they've done that throughout their movies. You know what I'm saying? The only ones that have drastically changed have been the Guardians of the Galaxy. They're on their own storytelling. They have their own level of narration, their own style of narration. You have to accept that. And if that's what Spider-Man is, then I'll accept it.
Okay.
So if they want to keep with it, cool. But just going into the next one, if they keep that, like the highest their movies can get out of me is 8.
Okay.
In that sense.
I'm gonna go with you, Keenan, with that 8.5. I personally enjoyed this film going into it. I understood that this was going to be a high school, teenage Peter Parker. I liked his quips. I liked his mannerisms. I liked Tom Holland's performance. I thought that definitely carried the film. Even small ways to where, like, when he came in crying because Tony Stark took the suit away and he was done with that. You could just have it to where he was sad and moody, but no, he came as a kid crying because he really felt as if he lost a part of himself as Spider-Man. I like that. The friends and the other kids, some I liked, some I thought were okay. But not only was Tom Holland awesome as Spider-Man, you also had a great villain to go off of. You had a great protagonist and an antagonist to where you saw both sides and you wanted to continue with that story and you were on their paths. So at the end, I felt as if even for him to turn down the Iron Spider, like he even matured throughout his journey. So it was enjoyable. It was a nice, like, as you say, Disney XD Spider-Man film. I had fun with it. That's all I wanted when I went into it. I knew it wasn't going to be as dark as these films, so for what I got, I enjoyed it.
One right there.
Yeah, these were darkest. Yeah. So again, for what I got, I enjoyed it, and I would definitely see part 2 junior year, whatever they do with the next one.
I think I'll probably just fast forward to senior.
Yeah, the car's full.
No, I hear they're doing a trilogy, like
all high school.
Yeah, so this is his sophomore year. Next is junior, so maybe he'll go to prom, I guess.
Wow.
Then the last one is his senior going to college, and that'll probably be it. From what I'm hearing, their plans.
I'm looking forward to that part.
All right, y'all. I want to thank y'all for coming on Movies on Our Minds and talking about Spider-Man: Homecoming. I'm glad to hear y'all opinions on it. So, if y'all don't mind, Rabon, can you look at this camera right here and tell us where we can find you?
You can catch me on Instagram or Facebook. Just you can put in my name, Rabon, Rabon Hutcherson, Hutcherson. Search me on Facebook or Instagram. It's my name, Rabon, the future Oscar winner too, and also act stunts and everything too. But Instagram and Facebook. Yeah.
All right. Keenan, if you don't mind, where can we find you as well?
Instagram, directed by Keenan. That's it. No Facebook.
Are you done with Facebook?
No, it's my personal shit. I don't want nobody on that.
Jeez, bro.
Okay. I see you. All right, Stephon, once again, where can we find you?
Mostly you can find me out in Atlanta working in film, but I do photography. Yeah, great work, but I do photography, and I'm trying to be a photographer full time someday. But you can find me at on Instagram at the Ideal Topaz.
Okay, cool.
Outstanding.
All right, y'all can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook as well. Baroque, BROKO. Guys, we want to know what you thought about Spider-Man: Homecoming. Did you agree with our thoughts? Was there something that we left out that you want to talk about? Whatever it is, put it in the comment section below. And guys, we will see you next time on Movies on Our Minds.